So we got the frog tape came in. Came in a little later, but I had to do some gaming with a friend of mine. So we can get that out of our system, get some fun in real quick before I get back to work. So first things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. I've been doing a few items in the house, something different. So I went in and did a nuclear wasteland design on my projector I have here to match the screen that I have upstairs. So I'm finally going to get a chance to paint that screen and then finish it off, and then finish off the artwork for the screen upstairs. So what we have left to do is we have to finish off the screen here, which is going to be the elegant screen. That's going to be going upstairs. I already measured. It's going to fit perfectly in my window. And that's going to allow me to roll it back up and down at will. So now we have the outside tape this time. We're going to be painting the inside of it with the 12, Supreme 12. And then upstairs I had the other one taped off, and that one's going to be painted with the new gamer paint. So let's get all this done so I can move on to my next stage and get that finishing done. We're doing 2 motorized projection screens today. Man, this is a long process. I think this might have been the longest process I ever did on a projection screen. All right, so let me grab something we can put up here real quick so we can start the process on this. So I had to go around and tape the outside, make sure that everything was sealed up nice and tight before I started to get ready to prep it for painting. Here we go. Oh man, it's been a long day. Let me grab a roller too. Where's my roller at? I had a roller on here somewhere. I'm gonna just wash it out. Roller. Figure out where I put it at. I just recently washed one out. Let me figure out where it's at. Okay, Mr. Bird, where did you put your roller at? Just washed it out today. Okay, I know what's at. Dry my roller out because I had to wash that for the day. So we can get this started. All right, let me check and make sure everything's nice and tight and clean. Make sure we don't have any pockets in there. Just want to check, take your thumb and go over it nice and tight, just to make sure. Go back over this, okay, that's good. This one bothers me a bit. I will use this upstairs for the gaming screen because that has some mustard in that, and it's still, I don't want it to come off on that black screen. I want this to be jet black. Let me get a new roller for this one to make sure. Yeah. Using a black. Yeah. Now, depending on if this surface has a coating, what's going to happen is it's going to expand and leave little white areas in the screen for a minute. It's going to expand and leave little white areas in the screen. Some of the screens have protective coatings on them that will leave like a little separation in the paint. Don't force it. That's the last thing you want to do. Don't force it. Put a light coating on it, let it dry, go back over it, you're done. I had to go through that with the silver ticket behind me. Some don't have it. I don't know if this one has it because the screen will expand. Which means you'll see little white spots in between. Yep, this has the coating on it. I'll show you what it looks like. Some people, what they'll do is they'll force it. They'll keep painting down on top of it, thinking they can make it disappear. You can't. You have to let that foundation dry, and then you can go right back over again. No, yeah, we got it. I can see it. I can see it. Yeah. Definitely see it. I'll hit my corners first. This is what I mean by when it starts to expand, this is what you will see. See all those little white dots? And that's just not taking to the surface. Don't worry about it. Don't force it. See, that one did the same. All you have to do is put a light coating on it, let it dry, and over it, and they're gone. That's it. Just have to lay a foundation in, that's all. All right. You should get your corners really good. I have nice little laser cuts to it. going to be the light foundation. This is not the actual screen. But like I said, because the way it's separated, I'm going to have to go back over the top of it a light coat. That's all you're going to need to do. And like I said, if it comes through, don't even force it. Just roll right over top. You just want to put a light coating on top first. And then you can come back in, and then you can apply a coating right back on top of it, and you're done. That's about it. I want to make sure I get my edges nice. I need for that black to pop out. Put my roller to the corner. My area is real good. So, I'm not worried about this, but it's not the actual job. This is just a roll over right now. Get that foundation to go in there nicely. And then we'll go back over top of it. We're done. Alright, so we're going to come back to that. We're going to put another coat on top of that, and that'll be finished. Like I said, you're going to have some white spots. When I come down here when it's drying, I might get a few more white spots, but at least I got a coating on top of that. And then once I go over top of it, that's done. This is the easier screen to do. This is only just 2 colors. That's it. Take my roller. Go upstairs. This screen, I don't need to stick because I'm standing right up on top of the screen. So we don't need a stick for that one. I'll put this away before I step in it and kill myself. She got some plastic bags. I'm gonna have to get on with my phone, pick up some roller bags. I wanted to pick up some bags for my rollers because I just gotta find all kinds of stuff that my rollers are drying out. And I usually wash them when I get done, but I need to use this one again. It's been a long day for Mr. Bird. I was up since 3 o'clock this morning, getting ready. 3 o'clock. Now we'll go upstairs and we'll start on the other screen. Grab something to put some paint on because I'm out of boxes. I'm waiting for other boxes to get here, so we'll go upstairs. See right here? See how it's expanding out? Right there. So we'll let that dry. Go upstairs and finish the other one. And then I get to have mine. This is actually me time anyway, but still a little bit more work. But I want to get back there and play with that projector, my mapping software. That's what I want to play with today. Oh, it's hot in here. Open some windows in here. Let me get you guys. Oh, I forgot. I moved the whatchamacallit because I was doing something. All right, put you right there. Get some air in here. We're going to use it in this one. I'll wash my rug too. It's the gamer paint, the new one we developed. This one's going to take better. I'll tell you why. Because it already has a coating on it. It has the previous 12 sitting on top of it. So this one I don't have to go over twice, which is good. Do my edges as always, so I'm going to put that away. This looks better here. Let me get this on this side better. Corners first. I was upstairs downstairs thinking like I gotta wait for the other screen to get dry. So I remember I already painted this screen already. So I don't have to worry about that. So how many times can you paint a screen before the motor jams? Approximately 10. Did it already. I wasn't sure. And the screen downstairs I was going to bring up here and use it instead. And I couldn't remember how many coats it was. I'm thinking it's 3. And find out it wasn't 3, it was actually 10, because I did the video and the screen jammed and I kind of like put it up as a, which you don't want to do, kind of video. Now this is hard for me to paint because there's actually a closet behind here. When it's closet doors, I kind of move back and forth because so it's a little bit uneven. So it's a little hard for me to paint, so I'm kind of using the edge of my roller on a tilt to get it in and then roll it back over. Yeah, it's squeaky. It's squeaky. Sorry about that. Nothing I do about that. Well, I actually can do something about it, but I choose not to because I like this roller. Really like this roller. Okie dokie. Okay. That's a little harder right there to do, but you got a little bit of area in here. Okay. This one here. Like I said, it's a little harder to paint because there's an actual closet door behind this. So that's why it's a little harder to paint. But it's going through quite nicely. Let's see what that is. Put something on there. Let's be a little careful with this one. I know that at the end of the day, I'm probably going to have somebody try to do something a little better, but I'm welcome to do something better. Why not? Do something different. Change things a bit. Nothing wrong with that. It's not a competition thing. It's just basically showing you how to do something different. Somebody may come up with a better idea than this. As long as it starts the process of changing things, doing something different. That's what it's all about. Let's see where I'm going. I can't open up this curtain because this curtain right here is going to blow the curtain right out and it might touch the screen. That's the only thing I don't want that to happen. All right. Let's see where we're at here. I know I gotta get around to shaving my head. Probably tomorrow I'll get around to shaving my head again. I don't know which is worse. Trying to maintain hair or trying to get rid of hair? I don't know. Shave your head, comes back in. Even faster and thicker. Yeah, keep getting shaved and keep getting shaved. Somebody asked me if I could have my hair back, would I? No, no. No. I don't want to ever have hair back up there again like that. I like it better this way. Cool in the summertime, nice and breezy. Easy to maintenance when you have time to maintenance it. Just shave it off and be done with it. Save a ton of money on haircuts. I remember me and my buddy were talking about this today. I used to pay, this is way back. Depending on where you went at to get your hair done, some places would be more, some places would be less. If you went to the best shavers, and he was paying about $20, $17 to $20 a cut. I don't know what it is now, because I haven't been to the barbers in God knows how long. But I don't know what it is now, but when I was coming up, if you had the money, you go to Slodge's. Slodge is a strange name, the guy was named Slodge. Anyway, he had haircuts at $20. Of course, you know, back then you're doing the whole, in the 80s, you're doing the whole Adidas setup. You got the whole lines and imprints and Adidas symbols and Nike symbols all carved up into the back of your head. That's something we had to trim up. They're trimmed up. That's where that kind of fell in right there. So that's favorite over haircuts. I learned how to trim my facial hair, my beard, and all that up. Pop taught me all that one right there. So the mansion I had to cut his own, trim his own hair. So that's where he came from with that one. He said a straight razor. Do his. I never learned to use a straight razor. That's how he shaved. He didn't use the whole bit or none of that stuff. Straight razor only. Okay. Old school. But I never learned to use it. So. Then on top of that, the only thing you got to get used to, if you cut your hair, go shave bald for the first time, it depends on how you cut it. Mine's more like a military, so mine's not completely bald, but there's little stubbles there. But mine's not completely bald. We can actually, you know, ricochet something off of it, which ain't nothing wrong with it, but it's mine's not that before now. My buddy, he has his like that. But you have to get used to the cold. That's what you got to get used to. Because, man, the first year, you would have headaches like there are no freaking tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you get used to it. But mine was 1 year. It took for my head to actually get conditioned for cold. After that, I can walk outside with a baseball cap on. Don't feel anything. I like it better. I don't want hair. I like it better. Like the hair. And then on top of that, it kind of prepares you already. Since you cut it already, I mean, you just pretty much defeated the whole purpose of going bald to begin with. Now, most people do it when they start going bald. I got used to it anyway, because my dad was cutting her hair like that for the longest time. He was just shaving off the longest time anyway. Until I got older and I got my own money, and I started cutting my hair, but I wanted to cut it. Cutting your own bread. But, and as I got older, got into hockey. A lot of people like to play hockey. No, not a basketball. Never didn't play basketball. I was not a big fan of basketball. Was not good at basketball. Could dribble. I could shoot and do a little bit. Barely don't know how to dribble the ball to this day. But hockey, that was my sport. Roller hockey, yeah. Ice hockey, yeah. That was my thing. Only sport that I know that you could basically pull a jersey over top of someone's head and beat the living crap out of them. And not be penalized for it. Yeah, I like hockey. So, it's interesting because I did bird skating for a while. I did that. Did some bird skating for a while. Then, they said when common sense kicks in, you can't do that anymore. So, you know, bird skating, the rails and the half pipe and all that other cool stuff, and grinding on poles and all that stuff. I did that. But people say when common sense kicks in, that's when you got to give it up, because then after that, you get yourself murdered. And I was up in New York City with a bunch of friends, and we decided to grind this rail in this parking establishment, and something told me not to do it. I jumped and locked rails a lot of times not to do it. And I locked the rail. I was coming down and my back wheel caught up and hit my other wheel and threw me off. and I almost flipped over the side, almost crashed down and hit a bunch of cars and killed myself. So that's common sense telling me, got to give it up. So I had to give up the whole aggressive skating. So I had to figure out what I was going to do next. So I got into hockey. My favorite pair of hockey blades are Missions. I love freaking Missions. Everything Mission. CCM is okay, but I love Missions. Oh man, they make a good skate. Yep, and that's how I got into hockey. So I got to do something, you know what I mean? Kind of adrenaline rush was still there, but I didn't want to give it up, and I really liked the sport. So I couldn't do speed skating. Speed skating was for me. You don't have to wear the tights and all, but I just couldn't do them 6 wheels in the front. And them things were 80 millimeter wheels. They were huge freaking wheels, like 80 millimeter wheels. They were huge. Usually most people, when they do the grinds, they have like what, 40s and 50s, sometimes 30s in the middle. And then on the outside, they may have something like, they don't have a 76. A 76 is too big. They would have something like more like a 60, maybe a 70, maybe 60, and they have the 40s in the middle. That's what you would have for grinding. Then you put your plates on it. Oh man, I remember that. You put them white plates on the sides. You can take your take a file and sand it down, so basically it would hit the groove just right and get a little wax and wax it in, so you would slide down the rail. Gotta miss all that. Give all that up. So then I got into hockey. I like hockey. Hockey, you got to skate at 100 miles an hour with a hockey stick and got to tube around people. Oh, I loved it so much. Yeah, that's when the common sense kicks in and tells you, nope, can't do that no more. So the reason why I'm talking about that, the whole hockey thing, was because I would go out there and it's bad enough that you were a goalie. You had to wear all that freaking heavy armor while you was out there in the heat, sweating your, I'm not going to say, well, you know you're sweating to death. Because if not, you just lose your teeth, or somebody just hit you upside the head with a freaking hockey puck, or you get hit in the chest with something and get hurt pretty bad. So you had to wear all that armor while you was out there playing. And my head was so hot under the helmet. So I went home, I shaved it off. And I kept it that way ever since. And then eventually, I got around in my 30s, I realized I was going bald. So I already beat the punch already, because I was already shaving my head already, like in my 20s. My late 20s, I was shaving my head already. So I was like, oh, whatever. You know? I tell people, man, I would never have that. And I mean, if it's you like it, some people can get away with it. Look at the guy from freaking Frasier. I think that's very few people that can get away. Or the guy from freaking, what's the Star Trek? His name, I forgot his name. He has just the hair around the side. Very few people can get away rocking that hair around the side and bald on top. But I mean, if you can get away with it, it's your thing, then hey, enjoy it. You know, you want to keep your hair. But for me, just having that little bit of hair in the front and then the rest of it, no. Had to go. But that mine took off anyway because, like I said, the whole theory of keeping my head cool. Got a bandana underneath my head, my helmet, and sweat in my eyes, trying to see where this guy is going to hit this friggin' puck in. And yeah, I just decided to go home and shave it. I seen a few people on there that had their heads already shaved. You know, I guess they would cut it in the summertime, and in the wintertime they used to grow it all back. But you know, I just decided to shave it off, and that was it. Make sure you get yourself some real nice clippers. Make sure you keep your clippers nice and clean. Very important, keep your clippers nice and clean. You want bumps all over you. Clippers nice and clean. All right. So I think we got this one. I'll make sure I got my edges really good. Again, just to check and make sure I got the edges good. Do a whole lot of talking. Do a whole lot of talking. I said to my friend, you do a whole lot of talking. Life is short and I got a lot to say. Whether you want to listen or not, I got a lot. to make sure we didn't miss any spots, which I just did right here. Missed the spot right here. Ooh, got a little crackage right there. That's nothing too bad. Now, keep in mind, every once in a while the paint may peel a little bit. So that's an easy fix. Just take some tape, and just hit it here. Take a Q-tip and just go whoop, and that's it. That's it. Because I got a spot I just hit just right there. All right, so I'll just do the once over and have a look over. See what's going on. See if we're nice and clean all the way around. Clean nice around. Clean nice around. Got a couple of those right there. I'm not worried about that. So let's go do the peel. Hopefully, I didn't mess this up. Put it in pieces. A little bit of tape here that wants to be a little bit stubborn. It's always at the end. You always got that one piece that just says no. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay right here. This is where I want to be at. Now you can't be here because it'll take away from my artwork. I don't need you there. Alright, so let's try to see if I can remove you from another section. We do it that way. So you don't want to go the way you gotta go. Alright, so once it dries up, it's good to go. Completely finished. Done. Now this part right here, I'm not worrying about it because I'm going to roll that up into the screen. I'm going to let this dry for a day because that's a lot of paint we just put on there. But not too much paint, but it's like I said, screens can handle 10 applications. I want to make sure it's thoroughly dry. That way, a nice screen to enjoy. So this includes the paint part of it all, which is done. It's all finished and done. I still have the whatchamacallit to put up there. I got to finish the artwork for the top because that's supposed to be all corroded up there to match. And then we have LED lights finished, running some more LED lights so that we're finished. So that one's done. All right, so now we go back downstairs to the black screen. See how that one's working out. Looks good. We got to put another coat on top of that one. Let me get my rollers separated from here and switch over to this one. Let's see if I've had anything today. I want to get a little something here, something there and there. Not sure. Okay, good. I think next week I'm going to basically install in my driveway cameras. The reason why I'm putting those in because I want to show people the things that come up and down my alleyway at night. A lot of people don't see those things when they come up. I got some interesting critters that come up. And they don't come up in ones and twos. I mean, they don't come in ones. They come up in threes and fours. They come up in little packs. They think come from me feeding the cats in the front. So I feed the cats in the front. And now we get some visitors that come up. And they're interesting. But they don't, the thing about it is I've seen them bypass each other on the cameras. And they don't fight each other enough. And they just eat and they just leave. I leave enough food out there for them to eat. The neighbors don't complain. I guess not, you know. You're going to have them in your backyard either way. But at least they don't eat my trash up. You know, so that's a good thing about it. But I'm going to put those cameras up there so you can see them when they come up. And it's quite interesting when they move up. I can see them from the top view. I want to be able to see them. We can see their face where they're crawling up. So we get an interesting bunch. The foxes, when they come in, the foxes usually come in this way. They come in three at a time. It was one, now there's three that come up at a time. So they come this way, but the possums, skunks, and raccoons come up this way. And then we have something that's crawling around here on the side of the house. I haven't figured out what that is yet. Like I said, certain times at night, at a certain hour, I don't step out that door. All right, let's get this done here. I don't even know. Some of you probably living in bear country. I can imagine what you guys through. My mother, we're gonna start painting this in. My mother wanted to move up to the Poconos, and that's where she wanted to die at. She wanted to die in the Poconos. That was that country girl. She wanted to die in the Poconos. And she was living somewhere up in the Poconos where literally like cell phones, you get to a certain age, your cell phone bars just start dropping like crazy. And then the road ends, and from there you got to go 4x4 all the way up. Where they lived up there was freaking bear country. I mean, you could be out there on the lake and you'll see black bears come down, brown bears and black bears. Ever so once in a blue moon, a grizzly would pop down, but it was once in a blue moon. Most of it was basically black bear and brown bear you would see come down from off the top. And it's like, it was a retirement community, you know, out and up there. And everybody had shotguns in their cabinets. Like literally every house had shotguns or bear mace or something. And then they had like real restrictions, like you couldn't put trash outside. There was a can at the end, like a steel trash can, you know, I mean, they didn't get a hold of and stuff like that. It was crazy stuff, you know, because the bears would come up and go to eat. And they talked about this fellow who came up there, I guess, to visit his mother, and he left food in his car, and he came back, and his doors were missing. Like, the bear ripped the doors off his car. Keep in mind, once they get inside, your upholstery and dashboard and steering wheel, all that's just destroyed. Yeah. But I couldn't imagine that, living out there like that. And, you know, you see them on there. People live out there. The bears will come into the garage and eat the dog food and, you know, go right through your freaking window, crash right through your window, wake up and you got a bear downstairs in your living room. I couldn't do it. I love animals and all, but not that much. Not on that level. Let me put you guys over here. Well, I'll try to shush out of the house. I would try to shush it out of the house, but if it got to the point it wasn't going to go, then guess what? I'm getting me a jacket. That's how it's going to go down. I'm sorry. That offends people. It's either me or him, and it's going to be me at the end of the day. I'm not going down, so he's going to have to. I'd rather just shush him and get him off the property. I don't want to kill it, but like I said, at the end of the day, if he decides he wants to get up and charge, something's got to go. It's not going to be me. But yeah. All right, let's finish this off. So we're done. And then after that, I can go watch some cartoons because I'm dying to watch cartoons right now. My friend's going to kill me. We're on the plan. I can't wait for back. So good. I'm actually buying one copy for myself. Actually buying four. Buying one for Steam for PC, one for the PS4. I'm not going into the consoles, And two other people play on PS4. I'm buying them copies for a gift. Don't get online and play it. All right, so we're gonna basically, let's see where we at with this. Yeah, it drives pretty fast. All right, that one's pretty fast. It drives pretty fast. Let me see what we got going over here. What is this? Oh, that's tape. Okay, we don't have to worry about that. Okay, let's go back over the top of it. Pour some of it out, like so. Then we're gonna go right back over the screen, finish it off. And I gotta go upstairs and start installing my hooks for the for where I'm hanging the screen up at. I haven't decided what projector I'm going to use on this. I love painting. Painting is so relaxing. And I told you I'm 53 years old. But I think the last thing I'm going to do before I retire is I'm going to get my own screen in my name. That shouldn't take long to do. So that's what I'm going to do the last thing I retire. One day, I know for some people it's going to be a happy day for them because I won't be making screen paint anymore. You're like, what would you do? What would you do? Well, people, I told you the story about Mr. Bird who rented a place that got him sick and almost killed him, right? Oh, there you go. There you go. And it looks like, you know, what's about to come out of that, I can retire for the rest of my life and never ever work again. So, can't do this forever, to tell you the truth. I like doing this, don't get me wrong, but everybody has to retire sooner or later. I have to retire. I want to sit back and just watch the sky, enjoy the animals, and just relax. That's all I want to do. I enjoy what I do. But when the time comes, nothing for me to decide. It tells me, hey, you can retire now. I'm going to retire. Does the company exist? Oh yeah, it's still going to exist. Somebody else is going to run it. I'm not going to run it anymore. Somebody else is going to run the company. I already got a person already in mind that's going to run the company after I leave. They're going to run it. I'm not going to be here for that. I am going to go travel the world. That's where I'm going to go be at. Travel the world. Maybe start a squirrel sanctuary and feed squirrels. That's what I want to do. The only thing is that the ideas won't be there, but like I said, I've explained before that Sometimes when I tell y'all stuff on camera, it's kind of like letting you in on something that may be happening in the future for us. When I sit there and I tell you that, oh, you're working on this or working on that, it's because there's stuff involved in that, involved in the future, or the things we're working on. If I tell you that we had technology that we're actually already developing for 3 years in advance already, then something means that somebody may be retiring. If I told you that I'm designing an ultimate screen that would pretty much topple over everything else, that it's sun killer technology, the final thing I have to build, design, and that means there's a good chance that Mr. Bird may be planning his retirement. And someone else is going to run the company. And by the time I get things established and where I want them to be, as in getting a good legal team set up for individual jokers that want to play games, yeah, you know who you are. Keep in mind. Yeah, it's going to be well established. I mean, brick and mortar, the whole 9 yards. Have a little team in there to basically get the job done, get things processed and ordered and ship out and all the other cool stuff. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of money invested, but it's going to be something that I can continue to live off and they can continue to run while I basically go search and seek the world. And yes, I am going to have a full-fledged legal team in there, which means, yeah. Right. As for the other problem, we haven't forgot about that. That's still going to happen. We're just waiting for a certain interesting package to arrive. That's all. Mail's a little slow, but it'll be your own time. That's all we're waiting for. And then after that, we go forward on that one. But that's still going ahead. Nothing's changing about that. Just because I haven't talked about it, or said anything about it, doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Oh, it's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. That's all. Just waiting for something to get here. That's all. Something we're waiting for. And once it arrives and reaches destination, well, you know what's going to happen from there. But anyway, I plan to see the world. So much. COVID woke me up a lot. Because think about it. I had so many opportunities. I met some really interesting. I had a customer who invited me to go to the freaking UK. I've had customers invited me to go to Australia. All different kinds of places I got invited to go. Now I'm working and I got time to do it. Blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. Had time to go here, had time to do that. Put it off, and then boom, we get hit with this, and that kind of changes you. So if we ever get out of this, these vaccines happen to work the way they're supposed to. Mr. Bird's gonna get himself a vintage suitcase, and I'm gonna fill it with bumper stickers, and I'm gonna go see the world. Okie dokie. Oh, Kelly, Kelly. Man, she gave me a lot of freaking rap here, man. I can do anything with that. What am I going to do with that? Right there. I got all that right there. So this is going to dry. We'll be back on tomorrow. No, I'm going to let this dry a little bit. I'm going to peel it off. Just want to come back and check just in case. The only thing about this, like I said, because it's surface. See how right there I told you just got to let it. All you got to do is just let it take a nice little coating to the top of it. Let it dry, and then come back over it, and it's gone. They're trying to paint the screen, and the white comes through. It's like, no. And anytime you see me do a video, I'm going to tell you, the door. If you paint a screen that has a surface on it, just put a little bit of paint out there first, and if the paint starts to spread, that's because there's a protective coating on the surface, used for wiping down the screen. So what you're going to do is put a light coating on it first, lay down a foundation, let it dry, go over top of it, it's gone. I had to go through that when I went to the silver tickets. Silver tickets had those coatings on them. Elite screen over there had that coating on it. The only ones that don't have that coating on it are the generic screens, but apparently this one does, and it's generic. Now, I know I mentioned about putting a link at the bottom where I got the screen from. If I failed to do that, I do apologize for that one. I will make sure that I will put a link where I want the eBay and purchase this screen from if you're interested in getting one. This is a 92-inch. This is the only ones I can fit right now. One bigger than that. They do have them bigger. I think they have 100 or 120 inch. I think they have it. I'm not sure. I think they do. From there, you should be good to go. We just have to make sure for me, I get my corners in good because, like I said, this screen's going to stand out. These are very important that you have to get those. Have to get those whites in. Now, if you decide to do this for yourself, you decide to do one of these for yourself, this would be fantastic. If you have a sports team or something, once we get the exotics back in stock, maybe do a color screen. Once we get them back in stock. But right now, they're out of stock. All the exotics are out of stock. An element that goes into the exotics to trigger them, and we don't have it right now. And right now it's on back order, so the exotics are out of stock. That's why you don't see them on the website. On the website, you can't get them. A certain item that goes into them, we can't get it. It's on back order, and until we get it, they're going to be staying out of stock for right now. Now, I want to do the unpeeling, but we can't do the unpeeling. I'm going to have to unfortunately come back in because I still have to watch the screen. Even though it dries, I have to make sure we have no separation in there. Because sometimes I might have to do a little light third over top of it. In case, because you peel all this off and it starts showing through the white spots in there, and you wreck the whole entire thing and do it all over again. I ain't got time for that. I have to buy a whole new screen and do it all over again. So I'll come back in. I'll do a short video. We'll peel it off. That's basically about it. I won't do much talking, and we'll be done and get through this. Okay? All right. I guess I'll show you the, so now I don't know if you saw the projector. I don't know if you saw it or not. We're going to be doing another one. Actually, I'm going to be doing a baby blue. But I got to take one apart first. Like I said, I have to see whether or not, how many, first when you take apart a projector, I know all this is connected. All that's connected. But I got to see if there's anything else connected. If I can pull the chassis off clean, have a few things I just have to separate, pretty much like taking apart a computer case. And if it's a clean pull away, then that means I can take these and I can color these anywhere I want. So for that room in there, like I said, I'm looking to get an Elite tension screen, 120 inch. And I'm going to keep the, I'm going to do like a kind of, because I want the black steel to look really shiny. I want the bottom rail to look really shiny, but I want the screen to be a form of jet black, blue. And we're going to do the case to match with it. The screen and blue are going to match together. I know it's like I'm mumbling. I am so freaking tired, man. Last couple of days I've been doing this, and I've been working on everything else. Biohazard projector. I put it on TikTok and a couple places, Instagram, and people are asking like, "Are you designing those? Are you making those? You don't customize projector cases?" I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. It's a lot of work. Thank you. Let me go get the. There we go. My nuclear wasteland projector. So I hope you enjoyed it. All these come off, just to let you know I can pull these off. I can get access to that, all that comes off. But hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. This is actually the projector that's going to be matching the screen upstairs. So it's going to be a matching set, and I may do some speakers to go with it. All right, hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. Thank you all for your time. Can't wait for the summertime to get here because we're going to build some really crazy stuff. I'm going to show you how to make a foldable acoustic screen. That's going to be pretty interesting. And there's also a compartment on there to put your ultra short throw. All right, with that being said, thank you for your time, and I got to go, and God bless.